Hi, this is Drew Loker, and today we're going to start the greeting card project using Google Drawings. Let's take a look at the end. We should always begin with the end in mind. That is a Stephen Covey quote. So we're going to be designing a greeting card. Hopefully you've done your rough draft and have a great idea of who you will be designing the card for and the theme. This is a screenshot that you can use and refer back to on what your end result should look like at any given time. So we're going to start in your classroom. You'll click on your classroom period, go to Classwork, click on View More if you do not see the assignment. I've made a sample classroom and there's the greeting card assignment. You'll first open the instructions, which will open up a document with the complete details, including samples. We've looked at this already, but do refer back to what exactly is expected on each, including the fact that it does need to be for a real person, and other than your mom or dad, it does have to have that person's name. We need a picture on the front, a piece of clip art somewhere. Now you can actually swap those two around. You can have a picture on the inside or a clip art on the inside, or vice versa. We do need text that you've designed both on the front and the inside, and you'll also put a little text on the back. On the very back, we'll have a credit line with the copyright 2019. So we're going to use a template which makes this assignment a lot easier because a lot of the elements have already been done for you. You might want to look at some other samples that are on this page, including ones that I've created over the years. And we've looked at all this already, so I will pause on one thing, though, that if you finish your assignment, there are a couple of e-greeting websites that you can visit, including Hallmark and BlueMountain.com. So let's return back to the classroom. The second link is a link to a template to use. When you click this link, it will open up your template that I've designed for you, and it'll open up automatically in Google Drawings. So we'll zoom out and take a look at the entire page. If you don't see your menus, in the upper right hand corner is the little twirl icon to hide the menus. That's Control-Shift-F, or to reveal the menus, Control-Shift-F. But I've hidden them for maximum visibility on this page right now. The yellow boxes are designed just to give you some insight on what goes where, and if you've received your rough draft back, you can actually open your rough draft up and see that some text is upside down and some text needs to be right side up. And on the template, everything is in the correct orientation. So if your rough draft was not quite correct, at this point either make the adjustments. You can either start, you don't really need to start with a new rough draft, but just be aware of what needs to be upside down, what needs to be right side up. And in this version right here, when you fold the piece of paper that gets printed, it'll be correct. So there are some other pictures here for me to demonstrate with, and you've got some text holders. You've got some text that is light gray. That is intended to be deleted. So once you know what is there, you can actually click the edge of the box and then just hit the delete key. And you can also delete all the instructions. Those are all going to need to be deleted by the time you're done. So before you get too far into this, you will need to make this your own document. So let's go ahead and open those menus back open. And we're going to go to File, Make a Copy, and take off the copy of. Just delete that, highlight it and delete it, or highlight it and type your name. I prefer your name to be at the end. It helps you. For me, for grading purposes, it's better to have your name out in front. But go ahead and put your name, first or last or both. And this is currently going to go into the class lessons, but I want you to click on that folder and navigate back to your drive. You'll probably only have to click once on My Drive, and either select or navigate to your classroom. It really doesn't matter. Google Classroom and Google Drive are going to put it in the right place for you, or at least they're going to make it available for me to be able to grade. So we're going to go ahead and click on Select. And then we're going to go ahead and click OK, and then that will be our document. It'll make a brand new document, and you can go ahead and close mine up once yours has started to load. You can actually close it right away. And now you'll be left with the one that has your name up at the top. Now, in order for me to be able to see and grade the assignment, I do need you to return back to your classroom. Click on View Assignment. Click on Add. And it should be in your Google Drive. And you may see two greeting cards. One is mine and one is yours. You should see your name. If the name is not too long, sometimes your name disappears. So this one is my version. You don't want to upload it. Click on yours that has your name on it. And go ahead and click Add. And it's already open over here, so you don't have to click on it again. If you do, it'll just create two windows with the same document open. Don't click that turn in button, but when you're done, you'll click that turn in button after I have approved it for turn in. So at this point now, you can go ahead and start changing what needs to be changed. The text that's solid black, you can change the color on it. You can do whatever you want to it. You can make it smaller, bigger, change it to whatever theme. The light gray text is just there again for a placeholder for you. You can delete it and put your own. So if I was going to make this a happy birthday, I can simply just happy birthday. It got a little bit too big right there, so I'm going to do Control A, Control Shift, comma or left bracket, make that text a little bit smaller until it fits. Now I see that the guides are off, so I'm going to turn those on. Hopefully when you open this up, it'll have the guides on. So let's show guides. Okay, good. This is what it really should look like. It should have the guides on. So if for some reason when you open yours it does not have the guides, click on View, Guides. Once again, if you don't see the menus, twirl those open. You can also just type in. Google has made this quick access, and you can just type in guides. And show guides, you can see it's off right there. So they've made this space-saving feature that you can always access your menus, but sometimes we like to be able to see it and look through the menus, especially when you're learning a program. When you don't know what to do, the best thing to do is just look through the menus, look through the file system, look through each menu, and look what's available. You know, a lot of times students ask questions and they haven't explored the program, and one of the things that I try to do is get you to explore the program. And so if I know that you haven't, then sometimes I won't answer your question until I know that you've looked for the answer yourself. So there it is right there, show guides. And what this does is it shows us the center of the greeting card that gets folded. This center line going both directions is the center of the greeting card. The next line outside of the center is for composition purposes. It's for the layout. So all the way around the entire document is an interior guideline that you do not want to go over. So if I make my text box bigger than the interior guideline, it's alright as long as the letters don't go over that interior guideline. Alright, so we'll go back to what we had before. There we go. We had it too big. So the H would not look good because it goes beyond the interior guideline. So we do have to stay within the interior guideline. Alright, so let's say we're going to put a picture on the front of our greeting card. We're going to click and delete the graphic picture or clip art placeholder. We don't need it anymore. And I'm going to click on a picture that I've brought in. You'll go to photos.google.com and find a picture of you and the person that you're making the card for, or perhaps something that the two of you all will identify with, something that's special for the two of you. It could be a place that you've been to, could be a picture that y'all have taken together. So search your email, search your photos.google.com and find something, and hopefully all of you all have planned ahead for that. Alright, so my picture that I brought in was already the correct size. When you bring it in, it may be as big as your entire page. So resize it. Remember to size only by the corners. Do not resize by the sides, or else you'll skew your image. And if it's a picture of a person, you don't want to skew the proportional dimensions of your object. So as you see, what I'm working with right here is the edge that I want to protect. I don't want to go over that margin. You don't want to go all the way to the very fold line. So if I go to that very center line, that's actually where the paper is going to fold, and it doesn't look good for your greeting card to be all the way edge to edge. So we want to line it so that all objects are either touching or within the interior of the line. Now, one of the things that is difficult to see is that we don't want to overcompensate. So with this picture in the middle, we end up with this odd amount of space. Here's the guideline, and here's the edge of the paper. So the outer box is the edge of the paper. Now when it prints, the guides will not show. So View, Guides, Show Guides off. That's what it'll look like when it prints. So we'll turn those guides back on. And so we want to go through here. Now if you can't type upside down, you can rotate your box back right side up temporarily so that you can type. This inside needs to be a text box. It can go across the gutter if you like, or one side or the other. Be sure to turn off the border. Do not use any borders or backgrounds. So you can pull this across the page if you want. It depends on your graphics, on your message, and your style that you want. But this does need to be upside down, so don't let that get rotated and then forget to unrotate it. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key. If you'll notice that when I'm rotating it, it allows me to do 1 degree at a time, but if I hold down the Shift key, it locks into angular increments, and that allows me to keep it from getting skewed at 1 or 2 degrees off. So take a look at all of this instructions. I'm going to give you one more instruction regarding this box down here at the bottom. And this is addressed in writing on the instruction page, but you'll notice that it says Copyright 2019. Now, I'll probably go over this in class, but here's a quick snippet of it. We want that to become the copyright symbol. So there are a couple of ways that we can do this. I'd like you to learn about special characters. Underneath the Insert menu is the Special Characters option. When we click on it, we're going to see that there are a plethora of options available to us. And if we click on Symbol, we see that we have quite a few different types of special characters. And y'all are familiar with emoji icons and emojis. We've got your basic symbols, and then you've got a breakdown of even within that a subcategory. For example, if we want to write in special foreign languages or currency. And when we click on symbol and currency, we see we've got the dollar sign, cent sign, pound sign, and a whole lot of other characters that are available to us. So we're going to go back to where we left, miscellaneous. Hopefully that's where it should be. And there's the copyright symbol. And we click it, we're going to double click it, and it should copy it. And I'm sorry, it actually is probably inserting it in the background. Yep, there it is. So every time I clicked it, it inserted it in the background. And there's a copyright symbol. Now there's another way to do that. If you use certain characters on a regular basis, you can actually learn the keyboard sequence, the alternate keyboard sequence. And if I hold down the alternate key, so right now I'm holding down the alternate key and I type 0, 1, 6, 9. On your keypad, you will get a copyright symbol. I didn't because I'm using a laptop that doesn't have a numeric keypad. You can't use the numbers across the top. You'd actually have to type in alternate and then the numeric keypad 0169, and it actually would produce that copyright symbol for us. Anyway, there it is. Insert special characters and look for the copyright symbol to make that. I'm going to undo. Well, there it is. That's fine. This is actually working on copying it. Copy. So as we work around the page, put additional graphics into place. Remember, this is what you're trying to come up with. On the back, we do want your small picture. You don't absolutely have to use your autobiography, but it makes a nice touch. Your autobiography picture, the picture I took for you, that'll go on the very back. And then above, I would like you to put a little special character, like a hallmark symbol. Uses a crown. You can use a crown, a spade, a heart, a lightning bolt, just about anything that you want that kind of defines your, maybe kind of like your stamp. You're making your mark. And you can see here I've got the 2018. I've actually got a multiple. I've got a crown. I've got one of my favorite pictures. I've got a little heart. Copyright 2018, Loker Productions. And I'd like for you to have all that on the back of the card right here. So you'll put where it says Your Name's Productions. You can put whatever you want. Don't let your name get broken up onto 2 lines. So if you start on the previous line, make sure your name is all within 1 line. And what that means, I'll show you what that means. A lot of people will make this mistake right here in the typesetting industry. They'll type Drew, and then on the next line, they'll have Loker, Drew Loker Productions, and that is definitely a no-no, so make sure your name doesn't get broken up. All right, when you're done, you'll actually get approved, and you'll click back into the greeting card assignment, and you'll click the Turn In.